Thank you, Dean, Stone Coast administration, faculty, family, and friends. Who the hell are these CNF writers? Yes, we are the criers. And yes, we write memoir. But there's a lot more. The one restriction in creative nonfiction is the requirement of truth. Truth is fluid. Our understanding of the truth can change over time. This is part of the science of nonfiction. We explore love, hate, crisis, and tragedy. This brings the emotion to nonfiction. We embrace humor. We explore new places. We learn new things about ourselves and the world around us. We share our experiences with autism, body image, mental illness, war, and death. Clearly not as much fun as what Peter does. We do this to help others understand. This is the compassion and empathy in creative nonfiction. Bertolt Brecht identifies the challenges in writing the truth, and we at Stone Coast welcome these challenges. We have the courage to write the truth and the keenness to recognize the truth. We leave here with the skills to use the truth as a weapon to combat ignorance and exclusion. We must use good judgment and encourage others to share the truth honorably without undue influence or hidden agenda. People often ask me why I choose to write nonfiction. My answer: real life presents us with challenges every day. There are so many crises, events, and experiences in my own life and in the world around me. Just look at the unreal things we've seen on the news in our country over the past 2 years. All the elements of fiction: intrigue, outlandish characters, horror, and unexpected plot twists. None of it from my imagination, but I can write about it, try to understand it better, and share my observations. Most importantly, I can tell the true stories. So why do I write CNF instead of fiction? As Lee Gutkin, the godfather of the creative nonfiction genre, says, you can't make this stuff up. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. The next speaker is Mary Kilman for fiction.
Dean Tuchinski, distinguished faculty, honored guests, fellow classmates of whom I've grown so fond. As part of its application process, Stone Coast wanted academic transcripts. Mine were compiled many years ago. My heart does not understand the math. My head does. I knew Stone Coast was going to take one look at these dates and say, this Kilman person, Really? How long does she think she's got? But Stone Coast took a chance on me, and here I've learned much, for I had much to learn. We fiction writers, we hear voices. We dream dreams, we weave webs, we tell tales, we lie. Always in service to the truth. When we're at our best, we transport readers to those strange and beautiful and terrifying lands that abut the human heart. We fiction writers, that expedition is our end game, our holy grail. It may be a voyage of discovery or rediscovery, one of illumination or amusement. It may be all these things. We fiction writers, we lay the keel of plot and hoist the sails of time and place. We craft the helm from a rugged certainty that character is fate, and fate character. Captain Ahab knew that, and so do we. When my son was little, once a week we went to story hour at the local library, where the children's room was decorated with pictures that celebrated reading. My favorite poster was the one that featured a June meadow, in the center a vast Victorian bathtub, alongside, within easy reach, a stack of books. Inside the tub lounged a lion, smiling a contented lion's smile, and no wonder. His right paw clutched an all-day sucker, his left an open book. Beneath the meadow and the tub and the lion, just 2 words: live, read. We Stone Coasters who are about to graduate, we do not require a meadow or even a Victorian bathtub in order to write about the things that compel us. We are grateful for a strong cup of coffee, an easy action keyboard, and the wisdom and the kindness we've been granted here. Thank you to everyone, faculty, staff, friends, family, who've made this thrilling journey with us, and to the authors of those books stacked beside the bathtub, authors who have no idea of the lives they touched. Live, write.
Thank you so much, Mary. Our last speaker is Maxine Kupperman-Guignels, poetry.
Two cane wielders in a row. Hi, everyone. What a night. At long last our writing's tight. Here is Stone Coast love, no muss, no fuss. We're so lucky to be us. We're so lucky to be us. End of the song. At 73, I am living, breathing proof that it is never too late to fulfill a dream. And I am grateful to Stone Coast for allowing me the comfortable bed on which to awaken from that dream. As a person with multiple sclerosis, I discovered at Stone Coast the extraordinary kindness among kindred souls who did not let my disability interfere with their generosity of spirit. Tikkun Olam is a mandate in Judaism. It means heal the world, and I took that to heart. For 35 years, I was a New York City public school English and drama teacher in service to my community at large. My students taught me beautiful things, among others, like how to tag up on my own graffiti on the subway. I have my own graffiti name. And I taught them to write and read and perform, all with the idea of freeing the creativity within themselves. Every semester they published a book of their collective writings, had invitational launch parties, and signed their works. They were real authors. All along, I wrote with them, performed with them, read with them. I felt I could give to a community those unique qualities I had not been able to nurture in myself. How could I be a poet and continue to heal the world? And then I had the courage to come to Stone Coast. At Stone Coast, I have read and learned and discovered the service of poets to the world's knowledge and emotions. I read Lola Ridge, an Irish immigrant activist poet who wrote about life on the Jewish Lower East Side of New York City. I read Grace Paley, an activist poet from the Bronx. I read Walt Whitman, another activist New Yorker. Okay, I'm a New York chauvinist. But they changed minds and blood cells with their fiery words, their impassioned words. It is different from the service of teachers, but as crucial. Whereas a teacher, I encourage students to work their brains. As a poet, I ask people to reflect their hearts. I help people reflect as well by giving voice to those who have been silenced. We live in a world of almost 8 billion people, all in different places in the world and have different points of view. What we see depends upon where we stand, and we as artists can stand taller and higher than many others. And what we see, we can express in ways that others feel. Another lesson I could develop in my writer's heart at Stone Coast is the Ghanaian concept of Sankofa, a Twi word that means go back and fetch it, originally taught to me by my heart sister Jerry Ann. We reach back to go forward. We writers bring all our experiences, all our observations, all our passions with us to our pages. These did not begin with us. They began in our ancient memory, in everything our ancestors worked hard to give us as gifts. We acknowledge them by writing our heritage, by eating their food, by using their words. I see it all around me at Stone Coast, where everyone's passion is words and what words can do to explain, to nurture, to incite, to heal. We keep this passion no matter what, because in the end, our passion for the world through words is all we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxine. Our students never fail this great task they have before them, and I always feel bad for them that they have to wait all the way through the ceremony to, maybe you're all used to this, giving readings in class, but for me, I'd probably the entire ceremony would be a blur until we got this over with. But it's just, maybe your education prepares you for these kinds of moments. But honestly, as I've said this before, but as an administrator, we do a lot of reports, and Justin and Robin, they do elaborate self-studies. But for me, the sort of coming to this graduation, you get to see sort of the great strength of the program through your student commencement speakers, graduation after graduation. It's just incredible. So thank you all. We now have the presentation of the class gift, and I'd like to welcome Erin Roberts.
Okay, everybody. Here's where we take all the good, amazing feelings that we have towards Stonecoast, the faculty, and the entire experience, and we put our money where our gratitude is. And for our class, one of the things that has been the most amazing, incredible part of Stonecoast has been the residencies.